In this video, I will show you how to organize your It's Learning course. Your main source of organization when you're in your course is going to go to your resources section. This is where your filing cabinet is. You can add folders or any type of resource and put it in folders or organize however you'd like. You can put folders inside of folders. It's just like any computer's File Explorer menu. To get started, you can use this green Add button here. When you use this green Add button, you can see that from any page, not just the resources section. So even on my overview page, I can have that Add button. So you can add something from anywhere you are in your course. However, when you use this Add button, it will place the item that you're adding at the very bottom of your filing cabinet here. So it is just like the same as using this Add button. Okay, we'll place it at the bottom each time. Now, if you want a resource to go in a specific folder or a specific place, notice that there are multiple Add buttons over here in this resource list. So these Add buttons go to the particular folder. So you can see when I hover over this, it says Add Element to Folder 1, Folder Unit 1, which is this folder here. So I wanted to add, right now I have a Resources and an Activities folder. If I wanted to add another folder in here, I could do that. Or if I needed to add a folder into the Resources, when I click on the Resources folder, see I have an additional Add button come up. And now it says Add Element to the Resources Unit 1 folder. So you can always tell by hovering over these Add buttons where exactly the resource you're adding is going to go. Of course, everything exists in your main resource folder. And you can view anything inside this resource folder and dig into individual folders here in this tree. In this big window, you will only see the items just in the resource folder. So I can't see items right now that are in Unit 1 and Unit 2. I only see what's actually in the resource folder. If I want to see, I can tell in the Unit 1 folder, I can tell I have 2 more folders in here by looking at my tree. If I want to see that on this big screen, I need to actually click on it. And now I can see there are 2 folders in there. So it's 2 different views. This one gives you more of an overall view, but it's bigger. This one is a smaller view, but you can definitely see more details. So let's go ahead and add another folder. So if I want to add this folder, I'm going to add it to just inside my resource folder. So notice that I also have an Add button right here. So multiple ways to add anything. If I wanted to add to a specific folder, I could click on it and use the Add button here, or I can use the Add button in the tree. Just remember though, if I use this Add button, it goes to the bottom. So then I can move it after, but that it would be an additional step. All right, so here I'm going to add another folder to this Unit 5 folder by choosing my Add button here. And here's all of the items that I'm able to add. And the very first item is a folder. So when I do that, all I need to do is give this folder a title. And I'm going to make this folder active. So if I make it active, it means that I can see it and so can all of my students. And now you can see if I go to Unit 5, I have an example folder. So you can add as many folders inside of folders, or you can add it to the main course tree. And then if I wanted to add something inside that example folder, I can either choose Add in my tree here, or I can choose Add in my big screen here as long as I'm on my example folder. And now I can go ahead and add an assignment. I can add a file from my Google Drive. I can add notes. I can add pages. So you have a wealth of information here that can be added to any specific folder as long as you're in the right spot. So let's look at this long list of resources here. And I'm going to look at it in the main view because I find it a little bit easier to move. Notice that you have reorganize. So I'm in my reorganize screen here. And what I can do here is move things around. So if something went to the bottom and I want it to go on the top, I can move that. So for example, this calendar resources, I want to move that to go up with my other folders so that all of my folders are together. And you can see that it went ahead and moved that in my course tree. Now I can move it in my course tree as well, but I do find sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to do that because as you move around, things open and then it's harder to find the exact placement. However, let's say I needed to move this differentiated instruction activity inside a folder. When I go to reorganize, I cannot move anything inside a folder. All I can do is switch the order. So there's a number of ways to do this. The first way to do it is to actually use your course tree over here, grab the activity that you want to move. So we're going to move this discussion here. And I can move it, and you can see it on the white lines there, it's dragging it. And I can put it inside a folder by putting it right inside. And then it says, I'm putting it right on top of the folder. And it says, are you sure you want to move it into calendar resources? And I say, okay. And now I can see that that differentiated instruction discussion is now inside that folder. The other way to move resources, and sometimes this is more difficult, this is easier than moving it in the course tree, is that use your big page here. So make sure if I want to move this lesson ideas, I can check it off and then say action, move to. And then I can choose which folder. So if I want that to also go in calendar resources, I can say move. And now if I go back to that calendar resources folder, those items are both there. So you can move things in and out of folders 2 different ways. Again, you can move them right in the tree. Sometimes it becomes frustrating because it bounces around and it's a little harder to control. So the easiest way for some is to go to the actual folder and then check it off, go to action, and choose move. Hope this is helpful in getting you started with organizing your course.